A mother stands in the doorway. Her child, covered head to toe in chocolate, looks up at her. The mother asks what happened. The child says, "I don't know." This is what we call optimism. Also, it's a lie. But here's the interesting part. In the 3 seconds before that lie, something happened inside that child's brain. Something automatic. Something ancient. Something you've done 1,000 times without knowing. Let's find out what. Watch 3 people lie. The child with chocolate everywhere says they didn't eat the cookies. The adult drowning inside says they're completely fine. The storyteller at a party says the fish they caught was enormous, when it was medium-sized at best. 3 different lies. But notice what each one is holding. One holds a shield. One holds a blanket to hide under. One holds a spotlight to stay visible. Protection. Hiding. Performance. But underneath, they're all doing the same thing. Their brain handed them an escape route, and they took it. Not because they're liars, but because something inside them rang an alarm. And when that alarm rings, your mouth starts looking for the nearest exit. Inside your head lives an alarm bell. It's very, very old. Older than cities. Older than language. Older than the invention of lying itself. It was installed 300,000 years ago when your ancestors needed to know one thing very quickly. Am I about to be eaten? Back then, this alarm saved lives. If it rang, you ran. You hid. You did whatever it took to survive. The problem is, you still have that same alarm. And it hasn't been updated. It cannot tell the difference between a predator that will eat you and a person who will be disappointed in you. To this ancient piece of you, they register as the same level of danger. Someone being upset with you feels like being chased by something with teeth. So when that alarm rings, your brain does what it was designed to do. It searches for the fastest escape. And the lie is almost always lighter than the truth. Not because you're a bad person, but because your brain just saved you from what it thinks is a predator. That child with chocolate everywhere, their alarm didn't ring because of the broken cookie jar. It rang because of what comes after: anger, disappointment, consequences. Things that feel, to a child's brain, like being hunted. So the mouth produces, "I don't know." The alarm quiets. Survival achieved. Now imagine your mind is a room. Everything in this room needs to match. The furniture, the colors, the angle of every picture on the wall. And most importantly, the story written on the walls. I am a good person. I am honest. I am kind. When everything matches, the room feels right, peaceful, safe. But then you do something, and the room doesn't match anymore. Everything is at the wrong angle. The furniture is sliding. The pictures are crooked. The words on the wall are breaking. This feeling has no good name in English, but you know it. It's the feeling of being in a room where nothing is level. Where your eyes keep trying to fix it but can't. Where something fundamental is wrong. You have 2 options. Option 1, change what you did. But that's impossible because it already happened. The furniture won't go back. Option 2, change what it means. Watch what happens. The lie straightens the room. Not by changing what happened, but by changing the story about what happened. I had no choice. Everyone does it. It wasn't really stealing. The lie makes the room match again. And your brain will always choose a matching room over an accurate one. Because a tilted room is unbearable. And a straight room, even one built on a lie, feels like relief. Here's another way to see it. You're building a puzzle of yourself. Every day, new pieces arrive. Things you did. Things you said. Choices you made. You pick the pieces that fit. The ones that match the picture you're building. But then some pieces arrive that have the wrong shape. They're true pieces. Real pieces. but they don't fit the picture. So what does your hand do? It reaches for a different piece. One that fits. Even if that piece isn't real. Even if you have to imagine it into existence. Because your brain would rather have a complete picture built from lies than an incomplete picture built from truth. The puzzle must be finished. And it must show you as someone you can live with. How others see you is like a garden you're growing. Every word plants a seed. Every action adds water. Every choice decides what grows. And people walk by this garden every day. They see what you've grown. They decide what they think of you based on what's blooming. But then something grows that doesn't belong. A mistake. A failure. Something embarrassing. Something that, if it stays, will make people stop and stare at the wrong thing. And you can feel them getting closer to seeing it. So your hand reaches down. Not to plant something false. Just to remove what would ruin everything else you've grown. And in its place, you plant something better. Something that matches the garden you need them to see. The lie isn't the flower. The lie is the space where the weed used to be. And every gardener pulls weeds. Even if some of those weeds are true. And then there are the times when the truth is just too loud. Feelings can have volume. Shame can be deafening. Fear can drown out everything else. Guilt can ring in your ears for days. And sometimes, the truth turns the volume all the way up. Yes, I'm failing. Yes, I'm terrified. Yes, I have no idea what I'm doing. When you say those words out loud, they become real. They become loud. Too loud to survive. So your hand reaches up, and you turn it down. I'm fine. Everything's under control. I've got this. The lie isn't to deceive. The lie is to survive. And sometimes the lie isn't even for you. It's for the person asking. Because if you told them the truth, their worry would make your volume unbearable. So you turn it down. Not because you're hiding, but because two people drowning is worse than one person lying. So why do people lie? They lie because an alarm is ringing and their brain is searching for an exit. They lie because their room is tilted and the lie straightens it. They lie because the puzzle piece doesn't fit and they need the picture to be complete. They lie because a weed is growing in the garden they need others to see. They lie because the volume is unbearable and they're reaching for the knob. Not because they're liars, but because they're people trying to survive. Survive their own alarms, their own tilted rooms, their own impossible puzzles, their own vulnerable gardens, their own deafening volumes. And now that you see it, you can't unsee it. Every lie is protecting something. The question is never, why did they lie? The question is, what were they protecting? That child covered in chocolate who said they didn't eat the cookies? In the 3 seconds before that lie, an alarm rang, danger, consequences, anger coming. A room TI. Ted, I'm a good kid, doesn't match, I broke the rules. A puzzle piece wouldn't fit, I'm obedient, conflicts with, I stole cookies. A garden was threatened, mom's view of them might change. A volume became unbearable, shame too big for a small body. They weren't hiding cookies. They were protecting themselves from something that felt, to them, like the end of the world. And maybe if we see this, we can respond differently. Not with, don't lie to me, but with, what are you afraid will happen? Because when the alarm stops ringing, truth becomes possible. When the room straightens, honesty becomes safe. When the volume lowers, words can form. And what comes out is not a lie. It's the truth that was underneath the lie all along. The child, with chocolate everywhere. The adult drowning inside. The storyteller making life sound bigger. They all lied. But now you see what they were protecting. Which brings us to the next question. What do you do when someone lies to you? Because your response might matter more than their lie. And the truth you're demanding might not be the truth they can survive giving you. We'll talk about that next.